Welcome back to In Our Time. Today we are talking about none other than our ethics and beliefs. Today we'll start off with Canyon speaking his beliefs, and we'll go around the circle from there. Canyon?
All right. So, what do you mean by beliefs?
I mean, what exactly? What do you think? What do you think? Why do you think you're here? Why do you think the world works the way it does? Basically, that kind of premise.
All right. Well, so if you really want to know, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that's like what my beliefs are on. So, like, you can do you want me to tell you everything or what?
No.
All right. So I'm religious. I'm Christian, bro. So that's what it is.
Straight up, bro.
Yeah, and I'm libertarian.
Straight up.
I'm conservative, but leaning towards libertarianism. So
define libertarian.
Yeah, define
so,
libertarian.
Libertarian is basically on the little compass scale,
So centrist sort of, or
no. On the political compass, libertarian is the bottom ring.
Okay.
No government in your
no.
Okay, so wait a minute. If you're a liberal, basically.
No, libertarian. Liberals are liberal.
But you believe more in modern improvements, because conservatives are more towards. They wanted the more traditional way.
Smaller government. Libertarian is different than liberals.
So smaller government.
Well,
So do you lean more towards the right or the left?
Right. I'm very right wing.
He's so right wing he has swastikas in the closet.
Yeah, and he
And he wears fake Supreme.
Yeah, bro.
It's
it's really racist too.
All right.
This is the price of being right wing.
All right. Well, we got a gist of his beliefs. Will?
You're right wing.
Politically, I think I'm libertarian, probably centrist, and then religious. My religious beliefs are. I was raised LDS, so there's hints of LDS beliefs, but I think I take a more realistic, or I guess naturalistic approach. I kind of range my beliefs as far as what I can see of the natural world.
My man.
There's I don't know. I don't leave out God or I haven't made I'm probably agnostic in that regard. Spirituality is more of a understanding the world we know right now. So
All right. Wow. That is an educated.
Profound.
Hey, we're not at you yet, bro. We're not at you. Yeah.
May I ask the question though? What exactly do you mean by centrist? What does that mean? Exactly?
It means you're at the exact
Political compass.
You're in the exact middle of the
So
compass.
not Democratic, not
right,
Republican.
but I have
No.
more usually nuanced opinions on each topic that don't necessarily fall left and right political parties, Republican and Democrat, are they're kind of either one or the other, and I feel there's centrist views of there's ulterior solutions to problems that aren't necessarily pro business or pro human emotion choice, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the whole political compass about centrist is that they believe in capitalism also being good to people, because a lot of times if you choose one option, if you take the quiz, it'll give you a bunch of questions. Yeah. And if you choose I like capitalism, free markets, but I also like being a good normal person of people, and I just puts them in centrist.
Are you saying that being a good normal person isn't capitalist?
Yeah.
No, that's literally what it says, which I think is dumb.
Okay.
I don't know though. But
I think the political compass probably just perceives capitalism as business only.
Yeah. And
well,
it's
right.
profit over
you can say capitalist, but basically what capitalism is the right to have a free market. So let's say, for example, China does this more than anybody. Let's say they make almost everything. You have an American hoverboard, you have the Chinese hoverboard, you have they're communists, but at the same time they're with the capitalist idea. Where if I make something and they make it
global capitalist market.
Yeah. So when you say capitalism, I wouldn't say that's diminishing. I think it's a little bit different from conservatism.
Yeah. Of course, capitalism isn't a political.
Because it's way more. I mean, I don't think a lot of us. I don't think a lot of us really.
Capitalistic, you'd be like
Yeah.
pro profit
Yeah,
overall.
you'd be like,
like
screw
profit,
anybody.
profit
I'm making
over
money.
human life or profit over like
Well,
quality.
but we're not. I mean, we're not even a place where we can be really a part of the capitalist movement.
Real free capitalism, I think,
Is
allows
gone.
like capitalism, which is freedom of business and enterprise in your own right. I think that also helps improve your expression as a person. If you're allowed to the free market, then you are allowed to express yourself really as a human being.
Yeah. And you can, crap on others in that sort of way. So, like, if I'm selling some nice cameras and then Austin sells some cameras for cheaper, but, it's almost the same kind of camera. He's fighting with me in a free market, because if we weren't in a free market, the government is the ones that basically they have the rights to all those products. So
They choose who's
yeah.
better too.
I drink your
Theoretically,
I drink it up. What's that from? Come on.
No idea.
I'm not gonna say it.
They're uncultured swine. All right, Nesto.
theoretically, if we had a free market and a good economy, well, like that's relative, but if we had a well-off economy, then that could be for the benefit of the people.
Do you think a capitalistic market has to have like some kind of loser though? Like there
Always.
has to be some
There always
sacrifice
has-
of human.
Yeah.
Well, see,
like, either
everybody
human quality of
loses.
life or something.
But that's the beauty of capitalism. You don't have to be a loser. If you
if you
are,
work-
you can work your way up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to derail this.
No matter how low you are.
Does any of you want to live in a utopia?
No.
There's no possible way that a utopia
It can't
will
work.
ever exist.
It's not
can't work.
enjoyable. Like you need
No,
problems to
it
enjoy
could
life.
be enjoyable, but that'll never
No,
happen.
you need problems to enjoy life. You need
the
something
downs.
to.
You won't know what
need
happiness
the
is unless you
downs
have
to be
sex.
To
happy.
enjoy the ups.
So, like,
Right now,
sure, a utopia
On
could
the
be like it has small problems that are easy to overcome. And what you overcome, you feel joy. But
It's only small
like
joy.
that's why I think I like capitalism more than these other forms of stuff. It's because anybody can really be anything. I have this product. I could sell it more, or I could sell it cheaper than this, and sell more of it.
Well, sadly, that's why I think in our country, I think socialism and communism are so popular, because it's kind of under the guise of utopianism.
Yeah.
They're not popular yet because they're not really they're not here yet.
You should come to my
Oh, it's getting there, man.
We're not
people don't wanna
Venezuela.
work too. Like it's just a matter of work ethic too. I mean, that's kind of
Well, the other thing with the capitalist idea is that you have the right for work. So if you don't want to work for that place because they pay you less than, let's say, another job, in a free market you have the right to
Get a better job.
to quit and
Yeah.
leave. But in a socialist type of economy, you're stuck
Yep.
with that kind of job and you can't get out of it. And that's like I'm from New York, and one of the big things there is unions. So basically, you have to be in a union if you're gonna survive in the workplace, and that's more of a socialist idea, because it's everyone together. Whether you want to be in a union or not, you have to be a part of it. You have to pay those dues, and it's in my opinion, that's not free. That's not like a Kennecott.
But a
think-
union is
yeah.
acting just as a unit in capitalism.
Yes,
and they're-
but some
you could-
unions are mandatory.
Right,
Like-
but you have the right to just not take that job.
No. What I'm saying is, like, they have unions,
You're not required by law
regardless
to
of you
take
have a
that
job. Like,
that
well,
join a union.
my uncle, so he passed he tried to get a bill passed there, which makes it so basically, let's say a whole neighborhood, they all have to share in, let's say, insurance, right? That's how a union works, not like a workers' union, but like a normal where you live union. So everybody in that neighborhood has to be a part of it, whether you're an old lady that your kids are already gone and you're just trying to retire, or if you're a family that has low income but you have like 6 kids, you both have to pay the same amount of dues regardless, and it's because of where you live. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that kind of union is wrong, and that's why I believe socialism as a whole wouldn't work.
But like that's like a hyper like personal capitalistic view, like meaning that like you can like because like if you said I'm gonna form a group and us like however many people are going to engage in the same way for our capitalistic benefit, right? Because if we all choose this act the same way, make the whatever, if we form a group, then we can maximize our profits. they're essentially acting as like a unit in a capitalistic market.
That you're forced into, though.
But you're not forced into. You accept that as taking part of the job.
It's like well,
You don't have to. If you don't want to be in police,
It is
you don't want to be a
contractual.
police officer.
Yeah, it's like a contract basically.
all right. So
Anyway,
you're challenging me then, right?
That's dope.
Are you challenging my view? Yeah, Nessa, we need to hear your belief.
My beliefs.
Because we are totally straight into the isms right now. We're not even into the
whoa.
yeah, everything is yeah. All right,
Isms.
let's hear your beliefs.
What about the jizz? Well, I was born and raised Catholic. I've been baptized by the Catholic Church, but personally, I don't believe in a higher being whatsoever.
I challenge.
I do respect everybody else, whether their beliefs
Wait a minute,
are
hold on.
similar to mine, different than mine, or whatever. I have no problem with that, and I do acknowledge every single religion, and I do find them interesting. But personally, I just cannot bring myself to believe that there's a higher being up there.
Okay, so Marshall challenged you.
It was mostly just a joke. I think you have the perfect right to believe that. And
Oh yeah, no,
I mean, like personally, not to just go into my stuff because I still have some other things to talk about
Oh, of
myself.
course.
But like, I don't know how you can't believe in a higher power. I mean, there has to be a reason why we're here. Is this astronomical coincidence like just a coincidence?
Yeah, basically. I mean,
I
evolution also plays
challenged you.
What's your reasoning behind it? Like,
Yeah, how? Or sorry.
I mean, if you don't believe in a
coincidence,
higher being, how do you believe? I mean,
Like,
one,
how
how
do
do
you
you believe
think
we
we
got
got
here?
here?
Two, why do you believe?
and
we
what
have-
and what's the point? To that matter too. If there's no higher being, if this was all just chance,
if we're using a higher being as a reason to live, a point, right? And like, if we are using it, I'm not saying that we are or it means that, but I'm going to use it as an example, as a way to explain myself about what I think about the meaning of life is, or why we're still here. What's the point, right? I mean, personally, I don't think there's really much of a meaning to life, but that's what makes it so beautiful. We can do whatever we want. We have the free will to believe in whatever we want to believe in, to do whatever we want to do. That's why you have to make life count,
but
live it to the fullest.
But that makes it seem like such. See.
Why do you have to make it count if none of it matters?
Hold on. I have one thing to say here.
You're
Hold on.
Listen, it's up
You don't.
Wait a minute.
You don't have to. Hey!
You're polluting the
Wait a minute!
Yeah,
I like your fucking idea, man. I like your idea. Yeah. We gotta go through beliefs. All right. No one challenged. That's a good idea. Everyone, put your guns away.
Holster your weapon.
I'm gonna take it out just in case. What you talking about? I'm gonna take it out just in case.
All right, Marshall.
I've been on this whole time.
Let's hear your views, man.
personally,
Big Chungus is bad.
Shut up.
What'd you say?
I'm Mr. Cringe.
Are you challenging?
No. Alright, keep going, Marshall.
I feel violated.
Good. We need to hear him.
Personally, I'm struggling with my beliefs, but I really like to believe that there is a higher power out there, and that it's worth fighting for. And I've seen what hell can do, and people actually live lives that they want to bring others down, and that's not what I want. And people don't want to believe that. They want to believe there's always good in people, but no.
No,
I don't think that's true.
Oh, I totally believe that
it takes
too.
effort, and I
There
think
are
that's
evil
one.
people.
That's one of my beliefs is that you can really see somebody, and like I don't know, you morph as a human. You turn
change and
into
evolve
what you
over
need.
time, right?
Yes, and I don't think that's coincidence. I think that's a fantastic thing to do. And when you say there's no meaning to life, I find that strange to hear because
It hurts.
It's just, no, I wouldn't say it hurts.
It hurts me.
He's fragile, but I'm okay with that.
Fragile. He's being honest.
Him in his librarian jacket.
Yeah, come on.
But no, like I just feel like there's just so much evil in the world, and there's so much good in the world, and that's not something. I mean, you don't want to look at it binary. You don't want to look at everything as evil, good, bad, good, bad. You want to
Big chunk is bad.
big chunk.
I'm Mr. Cringe.
Listen, we want to stay on. We're doing a good job here right now. All right.
Okay, but yeah, so I think the purpose of life is to fulfill who you are and what you can do for others, and I think that's a purpose. And I think everyone should strive for that. I mean, it's not like a random belief that all Christians believe in that, or all Muslims believe in this, or all Jews believe in this. It's like a thing that everyone knows that, hey, you could do something shitty, but you can also do something really good. And there's a point to that.
Kane, are you listening?
We're supposed to be looking up articles, bro. Yes, I'm listening very closely.
So that's my
opinion.
You know what? I would like to personally shake your hand. Man. That was really, really interesting.
Solomon.
Never
I am challenging.
Okay, let's
I
hear it.
respect you more as a person now. As great as that sounds.
That was good.
Actually,
All right.
yeah, that was really interesting to hear.
All right, Austin. Oh, here we go.
Austin, my boy.
Well, let me first just ask a question that I was thinking. So when you're saying, like, you know, not everybody has, like, good in them, you know, do you think, like, people choose to do evil, or they're, like, pushed to do evil?
People choose.
100% choice.
You're not born evil or
All the
good.
time?
Well, I'd say both. There. I mean, like, you imagine growing up in just like a war-torn country.
Yeah, I was about to say the most you could
And
be to
you're
like
just
not choose to be evil.
Your
is you're, like,
father is a freaking warlord.
Yeah,
that's
if
like,
you were like-
kid, chop this man in half.
Yeah.
yeah, if
You're
all
3 years
if all
old,
you're
kill him.
surrounded by like is evil from a young age, then that's going to be all you know, and that's
So
just
I
gonna
all
believe
just
that
comes
there's
down-
influence, but also you have choice.
See, it all
yeah.
comes down to influence and experiences and your beliefs and your parents' beliefs or the environment around you. It all,
Yeah.
honestly, come back to my point, it's all about chance, honestly.
So I think
I'm so.
I don't
no,
think it's chance.
not chance.
Listen,
I'm not
let's get
saying-
through everybody because I really want to dive into this. I believe Marshall's saying, like, I believe that you can either be, humans have something amazing that every other species, animal,
We were talking
whatever,
about this
whatever
earlier.
here
Yeah.
has, animals do what animals do. They'll always do the same. You see a cat, cats will always do the same thing. Monkeys mostly always do the same thing. But when it comes to humans, when it comes to the human being, human beings can basically be anything. And they could be any kind of animal. I mean, if you want to swim in the water and, you know, hang out in the water all day, you could be a fish, basically. You know, like, I'm not saying, like, that kind of crab, but I'm
You're saying like there's not
crabs,
necessarily an algorithm to predict what we're gonna
humans
do,
humans aren't stuck to
We're not,
stuck to any
we're
of
not
those things.
restricted to anything.
And see, with what Marshall was saying, with, you know, there can be evil people. See, that's what it is. You can either be a human being who's conscious, who cares about your surroundings, who cares about what you do, or you can be an animal.
Yeah, you
See,
give
because
in
we
to
can
your
be
instincts.
just like animals. Animals, what do? They have sex, they eat, they sleep, and they shit.
They just have
Right.
like this basic instinct.
They and they do the same things.
There's a difference
but
between
humans
living and surviving.
humans have a choice. They consciously have a choice. And if you could call that evolution, I wouldn't call it evolution, but it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit with the chance spectrum that we can have such a great amount of choice. And like every story, every human, like my dad told me this famous quote, and I love it. Okay, the world isn't full of millions of people; it's full of individuals. Everybody has a story. Every single person, whether you're
Who said that?
well, I don't even know, but my dad
it's
told
like
me
a
told me this because I'm like, oh, there's so many people on this earth. No,
Check, yeah.
there's individuals. There's individuals. Every single person has their own story, and every single person wants their own crazy story. I mean, think about. This is a bad example, but Hitler made a crazy, dramatic story for his life. Like Abraham Lincoln Abraham Lincoln did something crazy with his life. He did something crazy. See,
We should all be like Hitler.
animals can't. Animals can't do that. The only animal that we know that has actually done something like that is what?
I'm just joking.
Harambe. Is that his name, right?
Something
like-
what
are you-
monkey.
That pushed
Are you
and tried to
talking
make
about
a story. Like he has a
That's
story.
the guy that died
We don't
in
think of
space,
like,
right?
oh, the story of Solomon's
talking
cat.
about?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying like
Coco, the monkey who could do sign language, I think.
Well,
No, there's
Oh,
quite a few
yeah.
examples
That was-
of animals doing things.
I think
that
it's
are
Coco, yeah.
quite
that are legend.
unorthodox.
But is it for a
Yeah.
reason, or is it because they're trained to for a reward?
No, there's like an example of
I
a
think
wild elephant
Coco,
was
the
going
monkey.
going on a rampage in India, and then
Or are they
it-
evolving? They're gonna kill us.
and then it realized that
Have you ever done DMT?
there was a
Joe Rogan.
child that got trapped Dude,
monkeys are scary.
And then kept on its way.
I know they rip ears. See, that's the thing. Monkeys are scary because you know what they do. You know what they do, man. They will rip off your. Hold on. We need to get through everybody's beliefs. We're not there yet. All right, Austin.
All right. Well, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But I don't know, belief-wise, like outside of that, to be completely honest, I don't feel like completely educated in a lot of beliefs, so I don't hold a lot of strong beliefs.
Isn't that crazy that we can just live like that?
Yeah.
We're like you kind of just live. You don't really think about why. You just do it.
Yeah, basically. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm always willing to talk about stuff and learn other people's points of views and ask questions about why they think the way they think. And
Well, what about your own though? I mean, there's got to be something.
You gotta have
Austin?
some values, right?
You got to be honest here, man.
what do you mean?
I
See,
know.
See, you're with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but other than that,
What are you living for?
you yourself have your
What are you
own
living for?
view of it.
No. Listen, I get where he's coming from. For a long time, I was kind of.
You don't get where he's coming from.
Yes, I do.
you
You
don't.
can't tell me.
Listen,
Let's hear what you
hey, no. Listen.
Let you
Hey,
court.
You
Let
can't tell me
Austin
where I'm
finish.
coming
No,
from.
let you
And
speak.
no,
Yeah.
let you finish, and then he can explain himself. You cannot assume someone's beliefs or what they're going to say if you don't even let them finish. Calm down.
All right, let's hear it.
You're okay.
Okay,
Please.
I understand where he's coming from. I know it feels kind of like just when. I'm sure Austin feels the same way too. I'm sure when he starts to think about it, because I was there too for a second. It's just like an empty spot in your mind when you start to think about this stuff. And for a long, long time, until like last year, I honestly had no idea what all this was about. I was like, oh, God and all that, and it would just move on to another thought. And I'm pretty sure, is that like where you kind of are a little?
Well, he said
Not really so much with like
See?
religion
So
or
you
anything, but with like political things or like big issues in today's world. Yeah.
So
it's
he
just kinda
can
like,
somewhat relate to him.
I get
Yeah,
what that
solid.
feeling is.
He gets the feeling.
All right, back off.
Yo, Jack. The soup was superb.
It was good.
Very hot, but yeah,
Yeah,
very
good.
good. Very spicy.
Skyrim stew. All right,
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Continue.
Okay, a simple question that I can just give you if you want to answer or not. What do you believe in? You can take that in any way you want. But what do you believe in?
That's to say that's what are your beliefs.
We already asked that.
No, basically, but the way,
and allow people to explain themselves, and like in that explanation, they'll like express their beliefs.
I agree.
Wait. I don't think you guys are starting. I don't know what you said.
We're trying to get through everybody's view.
Okay, but part of the main question to start with is there truth? Do you believe that there's such a thing as truth?
Wow, that's
Yes.
a good question.
That's actually the question.
That's a good
As to what you believe, that's the beginning. Because if you don't believe there's such a thing as truth, what can you believe in?
And where does truth come
So, do you believe in truth, Nesto?
Truth.
Do you believe in truth? If you don't believe in God, do you at least believe, or a creator?
So
Do you believe in
what are we
truth?
defining as truth? Meaning,
Yeah, like Big Bang was that
Like
true?
there's
Or is it
there is
saying
right
true
and there
to
is wrong. There
everything?
is
But that's
there
not
is what
truth
is and what
means.
isn't.
Truth
Yeah.
means like there
No, I
is-
like that.
there
What
is a
is and what
set
isn't.
reality, or like a set way that
If
things
you
are.
say you don't believe, like, okay, well, what is truth? Is there good and evil? Any question that you answer, however you answer it, is it true? Whatever your answer is, if you say, first, I don't believe in truth, and then you say, this is what I believe,
Then you're wrong.
do you believe it's true? Then you believe in truth. You believe there's some kind of absolute truth.
So
So we all
Nesto
do.
believes in
Yeah,
something,
so we all do believe.
right?
I mean, if you put it like that,
If we give an opinion, then we believe.
I
in
didn't
truth.
really, yeah.
But
But
believe what, though?
himself.
believe in what?
Yeah. What do you?
He believes himself to be true.
Well, believe in what?
Everyone believes
You
in
personally, not humanity as a whole, but like, what do you personally believe in, and why do you live?
No, this is pretty deep. I don't really know.
Why are you living?
I don't really know.
Yeah,
None of us know, Brock. Well, that doesn't work.
Well, some of those.
Yeah, it does.
No, yeah, I can. That's actually pretty
I know
simple.
why I'm living.
No, that's a
Yeah.
pretty simple question to
Do you
answer.
know why you're living?
No. That's
But
the
you
best
you
answer.
enjoy life though, regardless. Do you enjoy life?
Moments, yeah.
Is
What
that-
would you like to find as a purpose for living? What would you hope to find?
What would I hope to find as a purpose? I mean,
I know it's kind of relative, but like,
no, yeah, I get it. This is really hard for me to answer, and I don't know why. Honestly, my mind's just blank, kind of like what Jude said, but not referring to like religion as a whole. What do you believe in? But just blank. The idea just comes and goes.
it's all right. We're all figuring stuff out, man.
All right. Austin,
I
you
guess
good
so,
then?
huh?
Have you explained your
Well, yeah, I just don't really know exactly what points to emphasize on. I'm just, I feel like I should be more educated. I should try to be more educated. I feel like everyone should try to be more educated. That's something I believe in, huh?
education?
Yes, like that people should try to be more educated on issues instead of just like, just grabbing onto one idea and
For identity.
like refusing all
Yeah.
other ideas.
So that's
Closing
more of
your
a
mind.
what do you call it? Because there's
I think
there's
identity
a conservative
politics
view
is dangerous.
where you're you believe in the old ways and you want to keep with that. And what is this term
Oh,
called?
you want to conserve what's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's the traditionary, and then there's like the how do I call it? Like what he's saying is that whatever
The new age.
yeah, like he'll accept whatever comes out, like the new idea, the new
Progressive.
progressive. There we go. That's
Progressive.
perfect. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. There we go. So he's a bit of a progressive.
Mhm.
All right, Jude.
Your turn.
All right, now we're gonna
Monkey
hear
man,
Jude.
here we come.
Well, you can be a
Fine.
conservative and still
Jude
pursue
is a
education.
straight monkey man.
You can. That doesn't. It doesn't mean you're gonna accept everything that comes out. Like
No, but he's open to new ideas and new, new.
Try to keep
I
an open
assume-
mind.
that's kind of like the science point of view.
Yeah.
I find personally, I find a lot of religious people are just stuck on the same points that were made like way back when. So I'm pretty sure, and I kind of
Don't kill people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
You wanna know why that is?
That's fine. Yeah, I know because they're good ideas. I'm just saying when he
Could you give us an example of some ideas that people are stuck with?
Let him
that.
explain.
I don't know.
how
Okay,
you
the
think
whole
people should move
explain
on
your
from.
ideas first.
okay.
Yeah.
My
true.
personal ideas. So first things first, let's get this big one out of the way because Solomon never seems to understand it.
Well, how do I never see none of that? You don't know. Oh,
Let me finish.
that's hilarious.
You don't even believe.
I certainly do believe there is some higher being, some higher power out there. Whether it's like the Christian God, I'm not too sure. The whole God talk is a big maybe in my mind. Just I don't know, man. When I think about like God and all that, it just seems I don't know how to like put it into words. I just simply all I'm gonna say is I just believe in a higher being, a higher creator. Because as much as I and I've explained it to Nestor and Jacob before, I believe this world is made up of 50% of whatever this higher being is up to. Whether the higher being gave us the gift of life or just simply started us off with like a few cells on the world and let everything else handle itself. So
That doesn't make sense. Like single cell organisms, like that.
let him get his
Let him
point out.
finish.
Let him
Let him
get his
finish, boy. Let him finish. Let
well,
him finish.
because if you think
Check
about
out a couple cells.
well, no, because that's because when people think about the beginning, I just can't. Me personally, I just don't think someone just boom, and then humans run the planet. I personally can't.
So what do you think happened?
Personally,
Marcia, you too.
this is okay. This is the question that always bothers me with this big talk is the beginning about everything, because it could be who knows. For all anybody knows, nobody's too sure. We don't know where
How about you consider the beginning of your life? You were 1 in a million, or a billion, possibly.
All right.
You were just
Cool. I was born like everyone else.
Yeah.
Cool. Good
But
for me.
why?
Why?
my mom and dad had sex. The
Do you
sperm was
believe
in
in
the
love?
egg, and then I was born.
Do you believe
Yeah, but
in
you
love?
and you're
Yeah, I do.
you're your own person though.
Yeah,
See,
I'm
you're
aware,
not
and
your
so is
dad. You're not
everybody
your
else.
mom. You're your own. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is amazing.
Isn't that? I mean, like, look, if I was an animal, like it doesn't make sense because if I was an animal, why do I have such an ability to do anything? I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Like
humans were animals, and slowly over time we did gain the ability to do stuff and think stuff.
Where's the proof of that?
Tools that slowly evolved over time, thoughts that recorded slowly over time.
That's intelligence, sure.
Yeah, and
It doesn't mean we were animals. We are
Alright,
continuing to learn
Cavemen.
stuff. We're not
it's very hard to think that we're animals.
and humans will
because
never cease to learn.
the freedom of
Ever think
choice
of that?
of seeing
Yeah,
a
you gotta start somewhere.
starving person and deciding, oh, I'm going to give up half of my food to help them. That doesn't seem like a very big evolutionary trait. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why have we evolved with this freedom of choice to be a good person or a bad person, to feel good when we help others? It doesn't make sense because that's not really always benefiting me.
Animals
you know?
evolving is to help themselves.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
it's
We
to
aren't.
be more animalistic, more crushing everything else. I mean,
And are there any less evolved humans?
Yeah.
There's lower races.
all right, now we're
But I'm
racist right
saying-
here.
What you said.
Oh, we
there
are
technically
racist right here.
There technically are
What?
lower evolved races. Now, am I saying they're like worse than anybody?
Inferior.
No, not at all.
Lower
I'm
than
just
How are there
saying-
lower evolved races?
It's
What do you
not.
mean by
I
that?
don't.
Like,
Is it necessarily
Do you get-
races or is it? I'm
No,
like,
I'm just
I don't
I'm
think
just
it's
saying. I don't. They
are you saying
okay.
they're
yeah,
born
those
into a
people-
lower
Yeah, like
educated?
yeah. I'm saying they're
That's
born
not
into a lower.
Yeah, you better be careful what you said there.
I know,
Because
okay.
that doesn't negate the fact that they're still a human being.
I know, I'm not saying
they
they're
have
not
the
human
same.
beings.
They have the same. You put
Who is
someone
they?
from Africa. Put someone from
Oh, why do we go straight to Africa? Oh.
someone from an African village where they have no access to technology, no access to the outside world, right? And then put someone from America into a middle, like from a middle
Oh, you
class.
bring up
Yeah.
America. You
Yeah.
think it's the best country ever.
No, okay.
Right.
What I'm saying is they're not.
Put them in the same room. They still have the same ability to
Yeah,
learn.
they do have the same capabilities, and they've
That's a
proven
good
that with like because there are some like geniuses from like African villages in the middle of nowhere that have
Elon
developed
Musk
some really
is
good
Elon Musk
African.
came from nothing, right?
He's
Yeah,
he's an
well,
African. He's
he
an
came from
African.
South Africa.
South
he is.
Africa, which is one
Which
of the
is Africa.
economically best.
He still didn't come from.
But he's a white man in South Africa. That's kind of a good thing. I mean, like,
A good
that's
thing?
kind of like
What does that
a white
mean?
person in South Africa is a lot
Sure,
higher
sure.
in the scale. So
Well, here it's the opposite now.
That one's-
Why do you
That's
say
a whole
that?
other topic, man.
But no,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
let's
Oh.
do this.
We're
Okay.
gonna get Marshall was the
Yeah,
one that's
we gotta keep.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so no, there's not
We gotta
the
hear
way
his
you
view.
put that question kind of fooled me. No, there's not lower evolved races.
I like how we're just
Everybody-
talking this
everybody is
outside
still-
voice.
Everybody is still like capable. Like some tribesmen in the middle of the Amazonian rainforest is as capable as I am. You know, stuff like that. It's just they're stuck in time. They didn't.
Well, they're a
Go-
product of their
Oh,
environment.
And
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
not
of
their fault.
them have the choice to leave that place, but a
Yeah.
lot of them enjoy staying in
but
that
a
kind
lot
of
of
life,
them-
that kind of culture.
It's more like a lot of them don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of them.
They
That's
don't know
all
but a
that
they
lot of them
option.
do and choose to stay like
Would you
that.
guys stop saying them? Do you realize that is
That's
what's
true.
great
They,
about
them,
America?
them.
Is that a lot of people from everywhere came here. The
Of
guy that
course.
sewed on my fingers
That's what America is.
was
I hope this
I don't
can
know
hear
exactly where he was from, but he came to America.
That's why it's such a good country.
Eddie
It's
Murphy
it's
coming to
multicultural.
yes, what a great show.
It's
In the best
monocultural
way.
because the culture
Listen, so is
is
Luxembourg.
we don't judge
Luxembourg's
people
a
by the color of their skin. That is
majority.
How is that
an amazing
monocultural
thing.
though?
Because that is a culture. That is
I mean,
the idea.
Anti-racism is
Continue.
anti-racism is just a human, like a
Human design.
humane thing.
Racism,
not
racism is a human thing, just to
But
not understand other people. But there was this idea that started this country, this Declaration of Independence, right? Does anybody know the words?
We the people.
which
words
like
for
what words?
Yeah,
What
what
words?
All men.
Schoolhouse Rock. It says sing Schoolhouse Rock.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
No, that is not the start of the Declaration, because the Declaration of Independence has freedom,
Dude, it's a joke.
freedom
okay,
of
bro.
religion.
Okay, yeah.
But the basics of it is in
All
God.
men, right?
In
Is that
God
what
we
it's-
trust. All men are created equal. Okay, that's
With
Yeah.
certain unalienable
And
rights.
by their Creator,
With certain
unalienable rights.
rights.
Yeah, that's what
including the right to life, liberty,
And the pursuit of happiness.
Now, if everyone is created equal,
Unless
and it's
according to
taken a
Those are
long
Jesus.
God-given
time to
rights,
get
though,
rid of that
technically.
to where look around you. Nobody really cares about color. That's the way that we actually live, right?
It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful way to live. To not.
Human beings
We're all
are
human, yeah.
all one family. And when you say the beginning, if we all came from the same place, racism is a lie. Because we are actually all one family.
Yeah.
And if you say no, random chance through evolution and this gradation, there's lesser, and you can judge according to color. And so there's these different countries and movements throughout history that say, no, we are the master race. The Japanese are the master race. No, the Venezuelans are the master race. No, the Germans are the master race. That always ends with evil. Correct?
That's only if you base your value judgment based on someone's skin. You could say someone's intelligence or where they're raised or their values dictate their level of evolution or their class. You could say someone who
I would say, since we don't live to millions of years, I would classify it more as adaptation than evolution. I'd say like with if we're all people, look at us compared I think that my heritage is more European, and European areas are more not as much sun, not as much. So I think over generations, if I lived in the desert for,
I'm just saying you could grade or value people, and that does the determining factor doesn't have to be their skin color. There's way more.
Well, yeah, because they adapt to their surroundings.
I'm saying skin color has the least amount to do with anything. People's intelligence or people's.
No, we all
values,
agree on that.
But there are people that are evil in the world that actually just believe that. That's just oh yeah, skin color different than mine.
Right, it's probably
just
how they're
like
raised. Usually it's.
There's people today that are saying, no, we need to go back to judging people by their race.
Yeah, exactly.
White privilege.
White privilege.
White people talk about white and black. Look at people's
It's
skin
time.
color rather than forgetting about it.
Exactly. That's where it comes in today, where almost the roles have been reversed in America, in a way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are any of you guys familiar with 40s, 50s Russia? The death of hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, same thing happened in
Stalin.
China, just a little bit later.
What we are teaching in universities in so many places in our country nowadays is literally everything that's happened then. Identity, just people separate into groups because why not? I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm whatever.
Identity politics.
Identity.
What? we're
No,
getting
this happened in Rome. At the fall of Rome, where people started, it's proven history that they started to not really care about, how do you say it? They didn't that's when we actually had the thing.
There became an elite that was stealing from the poor, not sending their children into the armed forces. So the Germanic tribes, they were using mercenaries. The poor were suffering because the elite acted like the elite in the French Revolution.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there was identity politics, where people were starting to
exactly.
men like what he's saying.
Elite poor.
taking a likeness to a certain class or clique.
The 1%.
Yeah.
All right, Jude, did you get through your views?
Sorry, dude.
No, it's okay. I knew this.
Unacceptable.
I knew this.
Listen,
would happen.
once you started
But-
giving that racism, we had to intervene here.
But yeah, I believe because okay. If anyone-
Racism,
if anyone
maybe.
thinks I'm racist, my apologies. Think what you want. But and when
Jude White is not a racist.
No.
Yeah.
Full disclaimer.
I
When
can
it-
confirm.
He loves monkeys, though.
When it comes down to the whole why we're living thing, I believe a lot with what Marshall said, that we should, just try and be good people to each other. Stuff like that. Just don't be like.
But what's the point in doing that?
Being good people.
In your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion,
morally.
Let me put this into words. I think it's just to purposefully like put people into suffering and to purposely like be like a bad person, whether that's like little or small amounts, doesn't really like make sense, because like why would you do that? I think.
How does it not make sense?
It makes sense from an animalistic point of view.
If Canyon has a bunch of stuff that I want and I kill him, I get his stuff. I benefit.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing. I'm not trying to justify.
So where does that sense of morality come from? Is what I'm saying.
Again, like we said, if you're grown up in an environment where you like all you're around is bad things, then you're just gonna have those thoughts in your head. But if you
only taught.
But if you reach a point where you have a choice to make a good or a bad decision, then I think that's in life. You should try and create the best path for yourself and the best path for people around you. And I feel like, as far as I know, even if you do believe there is a reward for being a good person in life, I feel like you should still stick to being a good person, whether that's real or not.
Yeah, that's a great ideology. I agree with that 100%.
Okay. But it doesnn't make sense if you're an atheist. If you
obviously.
So you believe in a higher power?
Yes.
I'm debating this to Nesta.
So do you believe that higher power is where that sense of morality came from, or not?
Okay, well let's.
Do you believe we just created it out of thin air?
No,
for no reason. Why?
I don't think it just came out of thin air. But
we have no other reason.
Again, like I was saying, there's a lot of quite a few examples of the same good and bad decision being made in animals. Now, yes, a lot of them are the smarter animals, like elephants and monkeys and stuff like that. But still, I think there is certainly something in us that evolved for us to be good people. Like when the Romans and the Germanics were warring, they started to develop ideas of, how we should be good, all the philosophy about, leading a good life and all of that. And I feel like naturally over time, we developed thoughts, and they're written in books all over about how to be like a good and a bad person. And I think in my point of time, personally, since I wasn't born in like the 1600s or something, so I wasn't around for all that, like who knows how naturally good or bad an average person was in like medieval times when everyone was suffering and people like barely had anything to eat, and people's like families were being dumped out in the street.
And another thing is, though, history is written by the victor, which means
not always.
Most large history that is widespread is written by the victor. And I say that only because so we're talking about medieval times, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say,
is that provable? The victor or the history is always
written by the victor.
I don't know.
Example,
I'm not saying that
some
people
examples.
on the other side don't write history. So when I'm saying that
the 300 lost terribly.
The truth comes out over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So see, like we'll find like
there
records
we
of the
go.
other.
Like for
of the other
example,
side.
the Crusades. When I first learned about the Crusades,
crumbles down, and the truth doesn't.
But the medieval church,
thousands of years of history, the truth is what prevails.
Exactly. So the medieval church, if they could project themselves as the heroes back in medieval times, they would. They would say that they are. Same with the hierarchy, like the king, all that. They would say that they are the righteous people.
Like
right?
think about the Crusades. When I first learned about
the peasants
Crusades,
would say otherwise.
Yeah, when I first learned about the Crusades, I was like, oh, that cool, a great holy war, But when you think about the Crusades were awful. The Crusades were pointless.
You guys know.
I don't think there was a couple Crusades and they weren't. All right,
I'm not saying
you need to
all of them.
understand.
Wait.
All of Europe could have been taken over by.
The Islamic armies.
I really hope this mic can hear you because
along the Mediterranean, they had conquered all of North Africa and the Holy Land. They had conquered the Holy Land. Okay.
I know they did.
They conquered. Then they went across to Italy, Greece, France, Spain, and the villages on the coast. They were going and capturing just ravaging the towns and taking slaves. Okay, just taking everyone who could be a slave, they were dragging off in chains, killing the old people, and burning the villages. So now, when people react to that, and there's war, many evil things happen in war.
Of course.
Yes.
People are sinners. The Crusades were not evil.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe
I'm not
Crusades
talking
weren't
about the
best
crusade
example.
itself, more so,
But I feel
more
like,
so the power hungry hierarchy.
and I feel like I feel like
But you'd have to know specifics.
So I would say
We get Robin Hood, King
people that
John,
would believe in God and
Richard
doing
the
right.
Lionhearted, right?
Mhm.
All of Spain was conquered, almost.
Isn't that
Almost
crazy?
1,000 years, right? What do we know about that history? What do you actually know about reading from? Because people wrote, right? I mean, Plato wrote.
Yeah.
1,000 years before that. We can read what people wrote.
But at that time,
How
he
much?
was suppressed, wasn't he?
How?
Plato was.
Suppressed.
Dad, you need to be. I don't even know if the mic is actually.
Yeah,
here.
that's
Like-
what
like
I'm
you
So
said-
we may just be hearing.
Like you said, with history comes the truth, right?
But what I'm saying
With
is,
time.
what was your name?
Me?
Yes.
I'm Austin.
You forgot Austin's name?
Well, it's
No, I
been a
didn't.
That's a
couple months, you know.
disservice.
It's all right.
Okay, what
I
I'm
don't
saying
mind.
is you have a great point. Learning, educating yourself. I'm just asking, in your education, how much original, like, what have you read of what they actually wrote during the Crusades? That's just a question to ask yourself to say, maybe, before I make a judgment, I should look further into it.
Yeah, I don't know much
It
about
always
the
comes
Crusades
down
anyway.
to
yeah, that's
me
what
neither.
I was thinking about that too. But another point, maybe the Crusades weren't the best example, but another thing I've kind of thought of my whole life, if you want to live your life for a higher being, that's perfectly okay. But I feel like sometimes if you can't like break out of that thought, then you just become a slave to religion and a slave whatever the priest tells you or the Pope, which
That's what it was in medieval times.
Wait, that's the church. What if your existence only is relationship to your Creator? That's where your conscience is, and you can't escape that. Everything else is escaping that you exist.
Yeah.
You exist in relation to what?
that's why we've been trying to figure it out for so long.
All right.
Why so many things.
All right, we
have
need
come.
to we need to continue.
Your will. And I apologize for interrupting.
No,
No, I enjoy it. I'm very,
sharing
very
some good
thankful about
points.
it.
I mean,
All right, Jude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna get the wording figured out?
Your beliefs.
Just leave it, man.
there we go.
That's fine. All right, your beliefs. Did you say your beliefs?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Brock.
I am Christian. I believe in a Christian God.
What type of Christian? Because there's a couple.
Normal.
When you say that, there's a branch of.
There's like
Well, so I
4,000
grew up
different
I grew up
types of
LDS, but I disagree with a number of things in the church. But at the same time, I can't deny that there's God, and I can't deny that. Like, it's weird because there's certain kind of like rules and ideological things within the church itself, not having to do with God and the Creator, like your dad was saying, that I disagree with. So like, I agree with him wholeheartedly. How I think religion itself shouldn't be like a church. It should be your personal relationship with the Creator that you believe in. And I feel like that's kind of been lost almost in today's world. Even with religious people, they kind of just stick with the church itself rather than God himself. But yeah, and then politically, I'm right wing. I would say conservative almost. I don't know. What else? What else do you want to know?
No, that's pretty good. That was the fastest one yet.
Yeah, because
Wow.
Ooh, the hair loss.
Got that. Hair loss? I have hair loss?
He's bald.
Where? All right. Really?
Oh, dude, it just came out.
Where?
We're just. I'm messing.
Dude, I'm gonna shoot you. You know, I like it.
Whoa!
Hey, give me my gun! All right, I'm gonna say my beliefs finally, so we can actually get into a topic.
All right, Mr. Crane.
Okay, I believe basically from the start of when you're born to when you die, you have a list of choices, and those choices lead to different opportunities. And from every choice you make, you lessen the other opportunities you can have. So basically, I feel like when you die, whenever that is, whenever you pass to the next life, if there is a next life, there's a scale. All right, there's a scale, and I would say I believe in the real Christian view, where if you accept Jesus Christ, that you are absolved of your sins. But I think it's deeper than that, and I think the Bible itself, and just in general, like you have to there has to be more than that. That can't be your safeguard. So I feel like there's a scale, right? And at the end of your death, based on what choices you've done, what goods and different, and evils, if your scale is too much to one side, that's what dictates how you chose to live. Like we all have our own life stories, and we all have the choices we can make. And at the end of our life, if you did more bad, then you're going to have a bad time. And if you did more good, you're most likely going to have a good time. That's what I believe.
You don't believe in redemption?
Yeah,
I believe in redemption, but like I'm saying, there's like a person that killed a bunch of people. I think they can come back, but you really have to try. You have to be a good person. You can't think it like I'm saying. I don't believe in the safeguard where I killed somebody, and now that I accept my Creator's existence, I'm saved. That it doesn't work like that. You really have to put some time into your life and the choices that you make and the people that you affect, because human beings are social animals. Like if you were stuck in, solitary confinement, it's proven you go crazy if you can't talk to anybody. But with other animals, animals can survive just fine. A lot of animals are quite territorial with like no, hold on, what is it called? It's like it has predator with it. It's where like you're alone. You're alone, and you're fine with being alone, and that's how you're
Solidarity.
What?
Oh, yeah. Is that what you said you do or don't believe in the Bible?
I do. I think there's more to it. I mean, think about it. There's so many stories in today's world that are so close to those Bible stories. I mean, and we can a lot of our lives can relate to those stories.
So you think they're all just parables, or?
No, like the story of Job is a story that happens to many people, and Elon Musk is one of them. Like he almost.
What's with the Elon?
Let's go. Elon Musk is like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, those kind of people. Like here, let's use the creator of Amazon. What's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. He started with an online bookstore and moved on to now. His ideas and his views, a lot of people get that. He has a lot of influence in today's world. So I think that there's a lot more. I think the Bible, in and of itself, I mean, it's still going. It's not just stuck to that book, But that's my belief. That's what I believe. I believe there's a scale, and that
Do you believe the Bible is the Word of God?
Yes. See, that's the thing, because a lot of people, I forgot who I was talking to, but they were saying that certain things were written out of the Bible, and who was that? I don't remember who it was, but certain things were taken out of the Bible. I'm like, no, because if our Creator, whoever He is, if He wanted to show everybody that a religion doesn't work, why has it survived this long? Why do we, like, with a lot of these religions, and every religion isn't the greatest. I mean, we can talk about the Crusades, right? With the Crusades, I feel like a lot of what the Christians did is the reason why we're still having a war with Islam. That's why 9/11 happened. That's why they have so much hate, because it's through history. It's through the actions of our ancestors that we're dealing with our problems today. So, I mean, it's so complex and complicated, but I feel like in and of itself, Christianity is still here because our Creator wanted it to be here. Because it's a war that's going on right now. Communism is, if you're an atheist, communism is the atheist party. That's what it is.
Well, yeah. No, that's,
All right.
No,
No,
religious-
no, hold on.
and
He
politics
was
should be
challenging
together
me
to
first.
rule.
Yes, no. Politics and religion coincide a lot
You know,
because
in Soviet
guess what communism did? Hold on. Who was going to challenge
You
me
know, in
first?
Soviet Russia, they had state-enforced atheism. So he's kind of correct.
I'm actually 100%. Name me one atheist or one communist country
That didn't
that
revert to
supports
atheism.
a religion. Just one. China, nope. Russia, nope. Korea, nope. See that's the thing.
They support a monarch.
Hold on.
Basically.
You were challenging me.
Well, I wasn't exactly, because I didn't.
No, I'll get you gonna blow.
Well, let me say what I was about to say. All right, I was just gonna say that like I don't know. I didn't really know that though. That like or what you said, like atheism and communism, like that they're interrelated.
They're very socialism. Same
Yeah.
thing. Socialism.
Well, that's
I
why
wouldn't really
America
think
is like we're founded on the basis of freedom of religion. They're founded on the opposite of that, I think.
Well,
But I don't think
That and economics.
it's written in their
Yeah, the
like
manifesto.
same with fascism or Nazis. He appealed to the Christian church for a moment, and then he altered it entirely to where Hitler himself was the god of the Nazis. He was the
I don't.
in the flesh God. No, it's what they changed the Bible to. It's
No,
what
he's kind of right. In Soviet Russia, like the only thing you can believe in is your leaders.
Yeah, I know it's right.
what I'm
I
saying.
know what he's saying
Monarchy,
is
yeah.
right.
that's what
But
it
I
is
don't-
in
I don't-
today's
I think-
world. If
There
you,
are
Jude
leaders
has
that want to
something to
force
say.
their people to believe in certain
then challenge me.
Well,
We're just having this.
Jude, say what
Okay,
you
missing-
need to say.
I mean, Kim Jong Un is perceived as a god to his people.
Yeah. But I
They don't
think,
know any better either.
and Solomon's right. A lot of times, 100% of the time almost, politics and religion do coincide, but that shouldn't. I don't think.
No, I
that's
agree.
Right,
I
that
agree.
shouldn't be a thing.
I think
And the fact that so many things
It is
have
a
like.
thing.
Separation of church and
Interrupted.
state.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because like
why-
the fact that America was built on religious stilts has caused like so much messed up stuff.
But I think leaning towards, like, let's put it this way: if you don't have any morality in politics, then you will fail, and if you don't have any politics and morality, then you'll fail.
That's true, but every
You have to have a little bit of both.
so many. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian politician or an atheist politician or something else. A lot of times they.
Oh, I didn't
still
say
tend to
religion. I said
that.
morality.
Okay, yeah, morality is a whole
Which-
different thing. I think when it comes to politics, a mix of morality and what's good for the people and for the state as a whole should be the main focus. I think the fact that so many people use their religion to tie their political views together is stupid because it causes a lot of bad things. Like
No, but that's how it
Manifest
always
Destiny
is, though.
was an awful, awful thing, and everybody that was involved in founding America defended it simply because they believe in a God. And there's so many examples of that stuff that just is messed up because they could just say, well, this is what I'm doing.
Not
this right
not
now.
everybody at the start of America was
I know, and
Christian.
I know that. I know.
They see that's the thing. They said a freedom
But
of
that was
religion.
their excuse for slavery.
Yeah.
They say revert to the Bible. Look,
Yeah, I know that
they
wasn't their
had slavery.
excuse for slavery, but a lot of times, like ISIS is fighting for their God, and it's a lot of messed up stuff that happens. And I think that we shouldn't.
Yeah, there is
I
danger in blindly following.
I think that
something.
religion and politics
But-
shouldn't coincide so deeply as it does today.
It doesn't mean
That's
that. No,
how-
it doesn't mean that
that's
they
how
don't
you-
coincide
yeah,
at all.
They have to.
should.
They have to
It should.
coincide. They always have to
Yeah,
coincide.
Yeah, and I know,
Politics and
Yes,
and I know
always.
that's not-
Even though there's a separation of church and state in the United States, with all the other places, like in communist Russia, when Russia was communist, that's what it was. There was no God. No God. We are here as people, and we're together as people.
Well, that's what
And
makes our
it.
government so great.
So yes,
Right?
it is intertwined with what you believe in. If you can't be a Christian communist. You can't. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work.
What's it? I saw this video with Jordan Peterson, and he was just taking questions, and like some girl went up to him and said, "Personally, I identify as a Marxist Christian," and then he just kind of like sat there, kind of sucked his chair, and at the end he's like, "Well, first off, Marxist Christian." No, like
Doesn't exist.
no. I'm sorry.
But yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think the collision between religion and politics is
think of it
ever
this
gonna
way:
disappear.
with
They
other
coincide. They'll
governments,
always coincide.
think of a communist government.
Can
They
you have
only
something to
have
say?
They only have the one ideology,
do.
right?
I have a lot to
Yeah.
say, bro.
All right, then let's hear. What do you have to say about this?
Okay, it's fine.
All right, I guess.
What do you have
I
to say
like
about
I like
this?
hearing this, okay?
Well, share with us.
Yeah,
we want
share
to
with
hear
us.
you.
We want to
Well, it's all from
your.
we've already talked about it a little bit. Like, it's fine.
So do you believe that they coincide?
Yes,
All right.
Well, I know
Do you
for-
believe that they
I already
coincide?
said that. Yeah.
That they coincide.
Religion and
Yes.
politics.
That they should coincide, or they
No, that they do.
well,
That it's what is.
people have different opinions, and like
No, there's only the
Do you
truth and not
believe
the
it?
truth. Do you believe that they do coincide?
Well, yeah, it's obvious that they do. I'm just saying I don't think
What have you
that's
seen?
necessarily
Well-
the best thing. And that is something that
No,
we can't fix.
I
it.
There's opinions
That's
on
something
whether
that has to
it
be
should
dealt
or
with.
shouldn't be, but
Like,
what is
Jews-
the
One at a
best?
time, one at a time.
religious views or lack thereof often dictate their then perceived views of how society should be governed, right? And that's like your separation of like your personal beliefs and then how you view your personal beliefs to be impacted on other people. And that's a difference between politics and then your religion. But I think that you could separate it completely in that you could be like, I don't believe that there's a God, or that you could even go as far as like, I have poor morals, that like I don't believe that I owe a God like good acts towards other people, but then you believe as a society we'd be better off, more people, if you have like a basis of like I believe in freedom, then you can say like based on that basis, even though I don't think that people are entitled to freedom by a creator, as like to better govern society, we should have like, you know, more liberal views or provide more liberty to the people, or you can base your views off of how you should govern a group of people differently than how you base your purpose from a creator.
But see, that can't work. See, right now in our country, we're having that fight. We're having a socialist
you can
takeover.
Say, you can say I don't believe in God, and I don't believe that I have to be good to you because God exists, but I believe that as a society we should be good to each other so that we can all have the freedom to have those different beliefs.
And there are a lot of people that do.
Yeah, you can be like.
But what reasoning is there behind believing that if there's no God? Think about it.
I mean,
Statistics.
If you choose to have civility, then you would choose to have governments and like laws that govern society that allow people to have different beliefs.
Yes.
I kind of understand what he says.
I understand.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And it kind of
But
goes
why
back
would you
to a
fight for that
different
freedom
topic.
unless you?
Nesto?
So that you can have,
believe in
have the
Marshall
freedom
share.
to have your personal belief. If I don't believe in a higher power, but I want the ability to everybody to either be able to believe in a higher power or not, then I would lean towards civility and freedom and allowing people their individual right to choose.
Freedom of religion and choice.
Right.
Sure. Yes. I agree with that.
Okay, but Marshall has something.
Yeah, kind of go back to a different point. I mean, to know whether or not like something's good or bad, I think like the higher power is something really important to consider when doing that. But also, to your point, like you can be a good or bad person depending on how you were raised or something like that. I mean, you can be 3 years old and get hit with a stick, and you don't like that. You get hurt. You're like, okay, that's not God telling you getting hit with a stick is bad. That's you being
Not liking it.
I don't like getting hit with a stick.
Well, what if you do?
So that's massive.
What?
That's weird. Sure, that's a different podcast.
Coming up next week.
Oh, hit me again!
Coming up next week in GOOGCAST, kinks.
Let's be careful with that word. All right. Apples.
But no. So what I think I think what. Okay. I just drew a blank.
Listen, no, I liked where you were going.
No, like knowing that what you believe in, like from personal experience, there's a merit to say that there's a difference between politics and religion. There's a big difference because you can be raised non-religious in any way, but you know that getting hit with a stick is bad. Bullying somebody is bad. You don't want your feelings hurt by somebody else. That's not fun. And so we can create a society without religion with values like that. But the question, but religion exists already, and you shouldn't. And yes,
I think
absolutely.
that leads into the argument of like you can have a society with morals that are aligned with a religious view of morals without the basis of God, of like civility and allowing each other by saying like, so like you could decide and a society could decide that even though we might not agree, if we don't kill each other for our own personal gain, like you guys were talking about the animalistic, like if there's no God and there's no morals, then I should just kill you and take all your food so I survive longer. But there's also the alternative point of that, like if we don't kill each other, then we can both survive longer. And you don't need God in that.
Yes,
equation.
but hold on.
With humanity,
Right, and like I think
I'm gonna
it's like
challenge
tribal.
My hairline is growing.
It went from
Sorry.
It went from like nomadic people that were like only like they were only loyal to their immediate family, right?
Yeah.
They would kill other people and take their food. To then tribes, to then societies, and I think part of that you could equate to morals of God told us not to kill people, but also civility is easier to live in than not. If you don't have to worry about your neighbor killing you, then you have a less stressful life. You can develop more. Your quality of life increases, and so that's a reward.
I can agree with that.
All right,
that's
but
a reward or
hold
an
on.
incentive to not kill someone without having to say God told me to, or having a
Mutual benefit.
But in what? Hold on. All right. Now I'm gonna say. But in what society does that work? Because now that you're dealing with that kind of let's all just do it.
What society? We don't kill each other right now.
Because it's good. But see, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. There's still an amount of classes in every type of society, and with a society like that, is everybody in the same class? Is everybody equal, or is there big? Like it's like with communism. Communism says, we're all together as a people, but there's always the higher people and the lower ones.
To a separate.
No, that's the same thing because name me a society where that works.
To equate like a
name me a society where that works.
Well, what works?
Society. We live in a society. We had some freedom. All right, name me a society
where what works?
Your mama's house.
Where what you're speaking is in effect.
Where civility is over a morals dictated by God.
That would only work if there was a utopia.
Because in America, it's still in our Constitution and in everything else that in God we trust. They're trying to change that at this moment.
People don't kill each other or people don't steal from each other because they like there are.
But in order for that to work, everybody has to agree and do that. That's a utopia.
And that
in order for that to work,
or just the majority.
There's no such thing as a utopia. It cannot exist.
Outside of
it can't exist.
The society that has decided that civility is better than unrest will punish you. That's why if you break the law, you go to jail, because society has decided that rather than ultimate freedom and ultimate do whatever you want, we have all agreed upon the set construct to keep civility.
Have we all agreed? I mean, are we all agreed?
A majority does.
Right, you are born into a system that has set laws. So yeah, I don't know if you don't agree with attack and that's how we have our government set that we can kind of alter that as society changes.
Yeah,
but
that's a good thing.
we are placed into the system of civility in that if you step outside of what the society dictates as acceptable, you have consequences. Rather than and I don't think that is based off of strictly morals given from the Bible.
And see, that's the thing. It doesn't say the Bible. It says in God we trust, in our Creator. So with that, I still want you to name. I still want you to name the type of government that you're referring to. Are you referring to the United States government? Are you referring to?
I'm referring to civilized society.
But civilized society, there's a lot of civilized societies out there. There's North Korea, South Korea, Japan.
You just call North Korea civilized?
No,
they're not. They're not civilized.
Your counter arguments aren't what I would consider civilized.
But you have to tell me where this is being implemented.
Well, I'm just saying in countries that people don't kill each other.
People kill each other in every society.
I'm trying to reduce my argument to a very simplistic thing, and I'm saying that morals don't have to necessarily come from God.
No,
I don't think cavemen had God telling them to not kill each other. I think gradually that civility was
symbiotic relationship.
If you didn't agree with the tribe, they're kicking you out.
To develop their own personal.
Society is a thing that was.
If anything, that promoted freedom. Civility promoted freedom and the ability expansion of religion and the ability of people to take their mind off of is my neighbor going to kill me, and can I create this more nuanced understanding of my belief in God?
And that is implemented into America.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, of course we have God implemented as well, but even the politicians that don't believe in God, right? That's probably where they're coming from.
Which is like, I mean, half
they
the
can
country,
still-
half the
Yeah,
country.
they still want what's best for the country, even if they don't believe in God or a higher being, right?
I don't think you have to believe, like, it goes back to the core argument of, like, I don't think you have to believe in God or accept God as true and real to have
that shouldn't.
like, an agreed upon set of morals.
You shouldn't need to believe in God to be a good person.
No.
No, I
You don't have to.
Listen, I have an uncle that is a firm believer in nothing, and that this is it. Firm. I said firm. The mic will hear me. Firm. You sick son of a.
The brain cell goes with it.
All right. Right down the middle.
Your uncle, I'd like to meet him.
Okay, my uncle is a firm atheist, but he is a very good person.
But I
He's
think
very
I think
yes.
God
love that
can,
guy.
I think God
He's a
can
very
not
kind
exist.
person.
God could not exist, and we still have morals that promote civility.
Yeah.
So I don't think civility is like proof that God exists, or
But at the same time,
us having morals.
Even if you don't believe in God and you believe in the morals, those morals had to have come from somewhere.
Right,
And they
I'm
did.
saying they came from the promotion of life and maintain of civility. Over time, it was easier to not kill each other than to kill each other, and that didn't have to come from God.
What if it's
Yeah.
to your benefit to kill somebody?
And that's what it used to be. But then
See, we're going back to
talking about
we're going back to my
societal-
point with that.
societal-
Societal benefit.
Which is where.
Countries go to war to take things from other people.
Okay, but
You know what Rome was, right? When Rome started out, it was just a little group of people that were staying together, but over time they
okay, but countries also
Yeah,
go
that's
to
what every
war to take
civilization
stuff in the
ever
name of
was.
God. So like
That's
then
not true.
your whole like morals from God argument is
all right, the United States was
Okay.
created and the United States hasn't expanded for what? 100
yeah, because
100
we
years?
expanded all we could.
Well,
But
we're
the
talking
We
United
expanded all we could. That's not true
But
either.
the United-
That's not
United-
true.
yeah, we
either.
could wage war.
not
But we're just saying, if you
Arabic
want to
God.
say, you're just saying,
Alaska.
you're
Oh,
Why?
from
You're
who?
just saying-
Christian Judeo God took lands from like the natives, like and
The natives took
and they
for
yes.
like 200 years. So my
But
point
they
is,
did that in vain of God. They weren't. I mean, they say they were doing it in the name of God, right?
yeah.
You can do that in vain. You can take God's meaning and twist it. People do it all the time.
Which is what people say the Crusades were.
Exactly.
It was,
Well-
it was them using his name in vain.
but I don't think that's a counter argument to. I don't think that like disproves the
Doesn't
fact that
disprove
you can develop morals without a God necessarily indicting them.
if you have humanity's best interest at heart, then I think you're right.
Yeah, and that's
I
how.
think humanity's best interest is the promotion of everyone's life, quality of life, and ability to.
And
You believe that in
This-
today's
hold on,
world?
hold
Like
on, Solomon.
our politicians today, you think that's what they believe?
Solomon, hold on.
No,
This
I-
idea that he's talking about is where the
too
whole
nuanced.
first valley of humans, Jericho, Sumer, Jordan, that's what they do because people started realizing farming exists and it is benefiting to all of us. And then religion started to come out. It's not like cavemen. They may have believed in.
Ask yourself first. Are human beings sinners?
Yes.
Is there such a thing as sin?
Yes, of course.
Says who?
Is that real?
Well,
I
again,
don't know. I
it
don't
comes
think so.
back to
No,
the.
You don't think sin's real?
Is it real?
Well, he does. So your qualification of sin is what? Meaning there's
To hurt someone
Right.
else.
There's a line. There's a line that you
Not
have to pass,
necessarily.
right?
Right.
Of
Most
like a,
sins are hurting other people, yeah.
right, and I think
Is that-
society draws out.
All right,
No.
then challenge me.
What about not?
You want me to challenge me?
All right,
They
tell-
Right, and in their mind, they weren't sinning.
Hold on.
But I don't.
Wait.
But
was that
our
sin?
concept.
Was that sinful?
Our concept,
Germany said it's okay to kill 6 million Jews.
right? So a unit inside
For
the
their
global
utopia,
society said that it was okay, but as like
Was
a
it okay
human
then
race,
there?
we said no,
Was it okay there?
no.
No.
So the Nazis
You're
was.
trying to get me to say that killing Jews is okay,
No,
but like,
I'm saying since
Will, are you a Nazi?
To the Nazis at the time, that was okay. That was
And
acceptable.
why was it wrong?
I don't even
What do
know
you mean,
if
why
to the
was it
Nazis it
wrong?
was okay. I think like
Uh,
because at that
And
point,
and
as
yet
society, we
children
decided
some of them
sold
were-
out their
wrong.
parents.
They were brainwashed, but also some.
Yeah, no,
knew
a
what
lot of
they were doing
Nazis, a
was
lot of
wrong.
Nazis that were just
Is there
fighting the
anything
war when
wrong
they
with
saw what was happening,
brainwashing?
it was messed up.
Okay, but in 1940, the human race has developed far enough to be civilized to know that killing people in gas chambers was wrong.
Agreed.
Meaning it doesn't promote civility, it doesn't promote freedom, it doesn't promote the pursuit of happiness.
No. If the
I don't
Nazis,
think you need God
if we
in
didn't
there.
defeat the Nazis, they still would have thought the same thing today.
No, wait.
That's why neo-Nazis
You don't think so?
exist.
You think
Neo-Nazis
neo-Nazis
exist.
aren't real?
I'm not saying
Like-
neo-Nazis aren't real. I'm saying
No, the
I'm
ideological.
saying that the entire world wouldn't have accepted this new worldview that like.
Well, if they
that
conquered
people
them,
were
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if they won the war? You think that wouldn't have just spread through the whole
So
world?
then their immorality was dictated by their environment, not by God.
Yeah.
If they were born into it, and if you could just be born into a world of Nazi Germany and realize that, or think that your moral judgment is I'm okay to kill someone else because they're Jewish, then either that's an entire people that have strayed away from God, or it's your morality is dictated strictly by your environment. Which
So if
that society has decided that civility is no longer,
Or
civility.
maybe that's their version of civility, right?
yeah,
But
That's what the Nazis thought. They
But if
thought
you live
that
in a
was
society where it's
okay.
okay to kill Jews or anybody, and would that? Oh shit!
If the whole world literally was ruled by a Nazi regime,
Would it be good?
and you said, right, would it be good?
Yeah, is it
And
good?
if you said,
Would it
We
be-
like
no,
to
it's
say-
not,
Would it be
and
good?
everybody-
Yeah, the
What
whole
does that
world
mean?
is Nazi, so they
Right,
all
is there a
agree
sin?
in a certain
Would the world be
set
sinful
of
if
morals.
everybody was a Nazi and wanted to kill?
Based on
every Jew?
our morals right now, yes.
Okay.
Think about this. We all like to say, like, if I was born into Nazi Germany, I would be like, oh no, I would rebel against the Nazi regime. I would think it's so wrong.
Would you?
You think that now, but if you were actually born into a Nazi regime at that time period, you would not. You would.
That's
Your product
contradicting
is your
your
environment.
point that you said that morals are inherent and that you should know right or wrong when you're born or because of God. So if you're like your argument is that like we have inherent morals given to us by God that every man should know, every man should have an understanding of like that if I kill someone that's wrong. But if you're saying that if you're born into Nazi Germany and you wouldn't know that's wrong, then morality is not inherited by God, it's strictly dictated by your environment.
Yeah, that's true.
And the elevation of your society that promotes whatever at this point a Nazi Germany world would be promoting power and lust and probably I don't know, aggression, I don't know, whatever things
that's
whatever
kind of a battle that's going on right now, isn't it?
whatever I don't know. I don't you keep trying to take this like broad topic into like politics and
Listen,
I don't
it's
know.
all
I don't
it
know.
all
connected.
coincides.
I don't
It's
know
whether you
all
want to or
together.
not,
Yeah.
yeah.
to bring it out.
Try
But, like,
try going out and standing up against abortion, saying it's wrong to kill little babies.
Jack, we gotta
What
stay
is-
on topic.
what does that have to do with yeah, that's like what
I'm
is
saying if
how does that connect back to your morality?
Dad, don't push your views in this
I'm
podcast.
saying if society says that okay, that's okay. Does that mean it's okay?
No.
No.
Or do you have personal belief?
Woo!
That's what I was trying to get at. Is like social construct is kind of just decided by
Social
majority.
construct doesn't make it true.
no, it doesn't. See, there's the law of God and there's the law of man. Just because there's a law of man doesn't mean it's the law of God, and vice versa. Can we agree with
The
that?
measure of whether or not the law of man is good is whether or not it aligns with the natural law.
I agree with that. Yeah.
All right, hold on. Austin challenged me.
All right,
Because
remember what I challenged.
We're talking about sin because I said I said the majority of sin is towards another person. When you sin, you're doing it towards another person, whether you're stealing from, like, let's take the 10 Commandments, for example. Almost every one of the 10 Commandments is you using it against another human being. You contradicted it. You aimed your gun and challenged me by
I
saying,
never pulled out my gun, sir. But
well, pull out your gun now then.
okay, all right.
Okay, what was your challenge? What was your challenge?
Well, I don't know, like with sin, it's not necessarily, I wasn't necessarily like disagreeing that it's like all towards other people, but there's definitely sins that like hurt yourself. Kind of, because I don't know, I was actually.
Well, yeah, if you hurt somebody else, you are, for sure, you're hurting yourself in doing that.
Yeah, but let me.
But is
let
there
me
a
keep
commandment
talking.
that says
Let
like
me keep talking.
Shut up.
Says the number
No,
one.
but I don't know, because I was like talking with my grandpa earlier today, actually.
Ooh.
Yes,
Grandpa.
and we were talking about. He asked me, he's like, "What do you think sin is?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I think it's like mistakes you make that hurt you or other people." And then I don't know. He made it like a, I don't know. And he like agreed with that. He's like, that's one way to put it, you know, and it is, but it's also just like, and then he like was kind of giving me this metaphor, like with people shooting at a target, because it was like he boiled it down to like this Greek, like sin. The word sin comes from like some Greek roots. Can't exactly remember how he put it, but it's just like, you know, sin, like when you're aiming at a target, it like has to do with archery, and if you like
missing the target.
Yeah, exactly. So if you like, you sin a little to the right, sin a little to the left, up and down, all that. So it's just you're missing your target is kind of what sin is. You know, you're missing the goal, I guess.
Your purpose.
Your purpose. Yes.
I think it's a diversion from destiny in a way.
You say that, but hold on. Who's that Chinese? What's his name? Great Khan. What's his name?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. What? He was sitting all the time. You know how many people
I think
he
it was
hurt?
Mongolian blood.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis. No, he was Genghis.
Yeah, he was Mongolian.
Chose close to China as a continent.
That's kind of racist.
Okay, what continent?
It's in Asia.
But I'm probably gonna get it somewhere.
He was Mongolian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Genghis
Yeah, I
Khan
know
was-
that.
No, you didn't.
That's why they made the Chinese wall.
He spread his bloodline a lot.
That's why they made the Chinese wall is to try to keep.
Holy
He conquered like
yeah.
half of the known world.
The Mongolians and the Chinese were very
Actually.
mixed because there was a lot of border crossing back and forth and conquering.
But they are in the continent of Asia. It's like
Yes.
Yes, that's what I said. No,
like
after
Vietnam,
I told him,
Laos.
oh, the continent you are referring to is Asia. You gave me the blankest look ever. And I'm
Listen,
like, what?
I'm the one
You're-
that brought
you're an
him
idiot.
up. You know why?
Why did you bring him
Why did you
up?
bring up Genghis?
Okay, why I brought up Genghis Khan is if you're saying you're missing your target with sin. Everything he did was sin. Every day he
That was
was
his
hurting
target.
people. Every day.
Think about it.
His target was
So
to
was
spread
he missing his
spread
target, or
bloodline,
was
that-
his
was
beliefs, and to
see, there's a
spread his
difference
reign
between-
all over.
There's a difference though, because
His target was to conquer the known world
In
at
his
the time.
eyes-
Been
yeah.
the right target for him.
in his eyes, I don't think he was sinning.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
In his
it's
eyes,
nice.
in his eyes, what he was doing was his purpose.
His
what he
right,
was doing
right?
Was his right and
His
his
will to
destiny.
live.
This was something he had to do.
To
Sin-
everyone, when they sin, they're right in their own eyes.
Sin is an
Yeah.
offense to God.
We've been new.
That's why people sin.
Ah!
Sin is an offense to God. I think.
That's why people sin.
Otherwise, it's not sin because
It's-
then you say, well, in my opinion, it's not sin. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
If
opinion,
it's
it's
sin-
beneficial to me.
Yeah. Like let's say you lie about your taxes, right? Is that right? Beneficial to you, maybe.
Hey, we're like forgetting something really big. Scientology. You guys
Oh.
believe in like Xeno or stuff like that?
Zeno?
Shut up, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you don't like Tom Cruise movies.
I love Tom Cruise actually. He's a legend.
They think that I'm Tom Cruise, but I'm Bobby with that tool.
I'm sorry for this the terrible segue.
Shut up.
Man, Scientology.
You guys can challenge
playing
me,
with
but that's my belief.
Wait, you believe in Scientology?
No, I don't.
No.
George, where were you going
How
with
can
that
you believe
though?
it? How can you not believe in something that Tom Cruise believes?
They think that
Tom Cruise is
Impossible.
basically a god.
Tom Cruise is perfect.
Huh.
Just kidding.
He's short. He's not
flies
perfect.
in the air.
He believes himself that he's not perfect.
That's the
why
only reason he does
wears-
everything he does because he's short. He has to make up for
Wait,
it all.
it's very strange that he hasn't actually aged.
That is.
I know.
That's weird.
But
He is actually
like
the
his
second
teeth was
coming
not-
of God.
His teeth was like
Yeah, one
here.
tooth is right in the middle of his face. What's
Yo,
up with
that's
that?
strange.
He got it like,
He got smacked so
We
much
find
times in the
evidence
face.
Tom Cruise is literally the second coming of Christ.
You ever seen Minority Report?
Was that pretty good?
It's
It is.
not.
It's
It's
pretty
not what
good.
it sounds. What?
It's dang good.
Me?
Minority
And it's
Report.
done by John Williams, Star
All right,
Wars
guys.
guy, musician.
I think, yeah,
Good
that's
music.
that's true. Marshall. Okay, so we all kind of. I don't know what side won. I don't know what side lost. I mean,
Well, I don't think it-
I don't think it is.
It's not about winners and losers.
1, 2,
Yeah, it's
3,
not
4,
really-
5, 6, 7,
With
8.
those kind of arguments,
sides
you can't really have winners or losers. You know, it's just everyone shares their thoughts. That's all.
Yo.
Are we aiming at guns now?
Solomon, you're down 3-1.
Actually, it's 4 because
5-1.
That's it, guys. Let's all get out of here. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Everybody get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, shit.
This was a bad idea.